Alrighty, happy Friday, happy November 21st, 2025. Um, yeah, so my chart's a little messy. Let me clear it up. Obviously, this was this morning's trade, and it's kind of crazy. I did predict this all in my, um, yeah, that's fine. I predicted this all in my, what even these guys talking about? I posted this all in my Discord, right? I talked about everything, and, this is obviously my profits, right? And then on my small account, at first I posted this. This is my small account, and then later the same account on the left. It ended up being this. A lot of people, um, you know, showing love. Everybody always feels great, and we got different channels. We got obviously chat, and let me just respond to this guy here real quick. I mean, we even go down on trading, and we talk about uh, basically my breakdowns, right? I talk about my charts. However I talk about on my YouTube, on my TikTok, how I break these trades down. I break it down even more in depth over here in VC. Immediately, like 20 minutes after trading, after market opening, right? So, um, I'm gonna obviously step up since it's my server and I have the most amount of experience here. Trading profitably for 7 years. Just letting these guys know it's not worth trading anymore, guys. Just call it a day, right? So whether they listen, whether they don't, hey, that's completely up to them, to each their own, right? But anyways, we broke this trade down so that I broke it down an hour ago. Actually, it was over an hour ago, and now we're going to be talking about it again, right? So, obviously, you can see all these marks. This is exactly what I talk about stuff in my Discord, right? In the VC, in the voice chat of the Discord for the members, and obviously, I do work for a firm. I do work for a pretty big, common bank. So obviously, as an investor, so obviously I know a lot of insider informations that I can obviously teach these new traders, right? Or even people who are experienced. They're still like, wow, I would have never assumed so. So, let's just start new. Let's just rewind it to pre-market, right? So ideally, um, you know what? I'll break it down a little bit for you guys. I'm not gonna make this one super long, but ideally, we did come down here, came back up, came down. Now we're holding this, and we have two basically candles wicking this, right? So we have this price action, and when we finally broke through, we had this. Let me just delete that. We had this big crazy red candle. This one that my cursor's on, and then we finally came back up, dropped, came back up, dropped, and now we're holding this area again because we keep coming up and we keep dropping. We were holding over here, and then she finally made that huge breakthrough with a massive candle, right? So now ideally, what do I want to see? Do I want to see it holding down here, or do I want to see it holding basically up here, right? So I'm gonna delete that just because it gets a little too messy to notice. Actually, that's fine. That these ones are fine. And then ideally, I saw that we had a huge push up, and price was plummeting, and then we had this wick, basically indicating rejection. Again, we just saw all these wicks, and then saw that with this red candle was small. We basically had this type of pattern, but it came back down, wicked it, came down, flush. Now, ideally, pre-market, I wanted to see this basically touch it up and then just flush, right? I just wanted to see it flush, but that was not the case pre-market, and we just started dropping. Now, two things you could have done. One, you could have waited, which is what I did. I did it patiently. Or the next thing you could have done is that you could have basically waited. Again, I already said that, which is what I did for market, because you don't want to get stuck in basically what I would consider my zone, right? I don't want you to get stuck in that zone and then take a trade over here. I mean, now that's already basically you're exposing yourself to almost like 100-point stop loss, right? So actually, basically, from right before market opening to here, that was, yeah, say 90 points. It kind of depends on the broker. Some brokers could be a little bit less, some brokers could be definitely a lot more. So I definitely did not want to risk that. I don't want to take the shittiest setup. So I only want to take setups when they're following my game plan exactly for how I see things and how I'm reading things, right? So kind of, honestly, analysis wise, I mean, it was really my only thing. I was kind of looking for, um, ideally, what it could do right here. Um, you know, if I just, let me just delete. Jeez, I have so many drawings. It's not even worth taking everything off just for the sake of being having a cleaner chart. But ideally, I wanted to see it kind of break this too, um, because I thought this could be a great either support zone or a resistance, right? So, um, but then she immediately started retracing. A part of me wanted to say that, hey, this could be a great buy opportunity, but then I was like, no, 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 exactly what we did on the left, what we did on the left, and just looking a little bit more. I mean, I didn't really look over here, but then I did notice. I'm just noticing now actually, but this is exactly what you guys have to consider, that we did come back down here, right? So you always need to kind of just look at some things. We came down, wicked it, came down, wicked it again. Well, didn't really wick it, but we're holding over here, right? uh, Came down, wicked it. Now it doesn't always have to be in that zone. It doesn't always come close. I mean, that's kind of just a difference in the brokers that do the charting, right? So um, every, like right now I'm using Tradu charts by NAS, or NAS 100 by Tradu. If you use NAS 100 with, you know, I'm using this one, right? I mean, you can see it. Now, if you're using, I mean, Black Bull Markets, which is also a great one. If you're using Pepperstone, FX, CM, Think Markets, Vantage, I mean, all of them are great. However, all their prices and all the candles and all um, the even the lengths of the candles are all always going to be different, for each one of these, right? But they're all NAS 100 charts, right? So look, I've been trading for quite some time now. I obviously can tell some differences, but here's the thing, is that when we broke this, I was so convinced that, hey, this is not even a valid zone. She wouldn't have broke below it. She wouldn't have been holding. She would have been holding on top of it if we were going to push this, right? For if we're going to buy, um, basically prior to New York session opening, right? But that was not the case. So I knew that, you know what, I was like, let's just play it out. Ideally, I made complete peace at that point in my mind mentally. I'm not going to want to take a trade. If it does not wick this and drop, I don't want to trade. And I'm definitely not going to buy it for the sake of it touching this just to retrace. That's even more risky than basically selling anywhere basically between this blue line and my resistance zone, right? So if this can't be supported, then let this be TP, right? For if it retraces here, let this be my TP. Now, ideally, ignore all these other drawings. Actually, yeah, ignore all these drawings. I'm not going to talk about that here. That's only to the people in the Discord. I mean, I was teaching them a lesson anyways with some other stuff, so it has nothing to do with today's. Yeah, I mean, it does, but anyways, immediately what happened at market opening is that we actually came a little bit on top of. Now, if I delete this purple box, I just had a blue line, right? I put the purple box just to explain some things to some of my members in the Discord. Again, guys, it's free, right? It's a free Discord, so please feel free to join. Just ask for the Discord link in the comments of this below this video, and I'll gently just respond to that comment and send you the link over, right? So, but anyways, I wanted to see it basically touch this wick. I mean this blue line, my resistance, and I wanted to see it plummet. Now here's the thing, is that I immediately, when I saw the weakness, when I saw the pairs coming over, she was holding the zone basically between this dotted line, that dotted line, and this blue line. She was basically holding it, and I immediately got in. And when I got in, it was my entry is that dotted line. It's always the dotted line, guys. So that's my entry for a sell, and I didn't have no drawdown, and I actually got a pretty bad entry, because at that point, I mean, I was thinking I was gonna get entered right here, but by the time I pressed sell, I mean, by the time I got filled, it was something like there, right? So I just remember it was a 30-point range to my stop loss, which was pretty nasty from the top of that wick. She wicked it, basically just trying to just, you know, be liquidity and stop out some of these people who might have had their zone like right here, right? So that's basically what 216, from a 200. Yeah, that's a 16-point liquidity sweep, right? So kind of weird to be honest, but it's nothing surprising to be honest. In the moment I saw bears coming in, I wanted to see it drop, right? So let me again break down what I saw, right? So I saw, again, taking to what I said earlier about the price action and the story that I analyzed, or that I analyzed from earlier, that we came up, came down, came up, came down, came up, came down, and then we slowly wicked it and we're dropping. So ideally I wanted to see it come back up to drop, because we're, and there should be an arrow, guys, sorry, but ideally I'm basically seeing it holding this area for the third time, right? 1, 2, 3. Now if you want to be picky by price action, if you want to look for more confirmations, you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 11 confirmations just in that one line. Now I don't really look far back unless if I have to, but I at least want 2 or 3 indications that, hey, we could easily we have enough like theories to, or enough things to prove my theory, right? That we're holding in this zone, right? Where basically my circles are on the top over here, right? So yeah, pretty weird day to be honest. I didn't have this type, even though this was really the only type of analysis that I had in my Carter decks, it wasn't really something that I was expecting to pan out like this or anything. It's just when it happened, that's the only thing I knew that was gonna happen. It was a strong instinct. It's, a lot of my members in Discord were saying, and I could probably show you, right? But a lot of my members were saying, like how did RZ do it? A lot of people showing me, hey dude, break it down, right? Break it down, show me, right? Now people talking about all sorts of things. When I did say it, I was like, I'm up. See, how the fuck did you get a win in this market? That's pretty funny, right? I'm saying some things, and obviously RZ is me, by the way, guys, and just it's funny, right? A lot of people are like, man, this thing is just chopped up, right? Cooked market. It's a big win at that too, right? I mean, when you see somebody making profits like this, I mean, what else are you supposed to say, right? So look, it's been a surprisingly turned out to be good. Yesterday was the same exact story, but today was a huge notch up, right? Turned up the volume in terms of profit, in terms of volatility, in terms of momentum. I mean, it's a great day. Now ideally with news, just 15 minutes after market opening, I wanted to see this thing tank. It should have no reason to be holding support here now, right? It should just be tanking. We should just be dropping below all these things. That's why I actually put the little lines over there. We should be going below this. We should be going below that as well, right? So we should just be tanking. But hey, I mean, I there's a lot of things that I called in my Discord. I did tell these guys from literally Wednesday afternoon that Thursday and Friday should be very, very big red days, right? So a lot of people in the Discord are asking like, what, how? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, how many weeks are basically 7? Well, actually, I've been trading for 9 years, but I'm profitable for 7. So how many weeks have I seen trading? How many weeks have I been trading for in the whole 9 years? That's, you have to do a little conversion, and then you multiply it by 5 days, right? Because there's 5 days in a week. How many setups have I seen? So it's all about repetition, right? It's all about seeing something and then truly just rinse and repeat, right? So look, if you value this type of video, please drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment with a fire emoji or something that shows some type of love, support. Today was definitely a wild card, referring back to the Carter decks, is that while this was the only thing that I could see panning out, I kind of made peace with either not trading, and when I did take a trade, I was like, if I'm going to take a loss, this is going to be my one and only. So you got to think ahead. You really got to think on your feet, right? So look, I'm proud of today. I mean, I wish I had that same momentum and I carried that same energy to my small account, because it takes just a lot more guts to trade a small account, dude. It's hard, right? So cut me some slack. I mean, it's always gonna feel a lot more peaceful. Actually, that picture doesn't even matter anymore. Can I delete that? Yeah. So because now it's this one, right? So I just can't really trade a size account like this compared to this mentally and psychologically, right? I mean, that's a whole different conversation we have in our Discord. So, again, feel free. We got officially what 32, 33 members now, so that's a great thing. As always, guys, peace, love, and cheers. Thank you.